Or you can brighten that up with an Instagram filter.
With the blur, you can do the blur.
Yeah, not with the blur, but it'll sharpen some of that stuff up depending on what filter you use.
I'm just going to project out. Can y'all hear me? Yes. Wonderful. Well, good evening, everyone. I want to thank everyone for coming out. Welcome friends, family, colleagues, mentors, allies, and alumni. My name is Stephen Acton, and I'm the Program Director for Public Allies San Antonio. Tonight, you have joined us for a very special occasion. We have come here to celebrate the service, sacrifice, and spirit of 22 diverse leaders who have shared with our community in San Antonio their time, treasure, and talent. Over the past 10 months, these individuals have taken it upon themselves to embody the saying that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. They have had to overcome adversity, adapt to new and constantly changing environments, and through all of this, stayed focused on a mission to create a more just and equitable society while becoming the diverse leadership that sustains it. It is my distinct privilege to welcome you all to the 2017-2018 Public Allies graduation. We have a wonderful program in store for you all tonight. And to start us off on our journey this evening, I would like to welcome to the stage Dr. Bruce Leslie, the Chancellor of the Alamo College's Community College District.
Is that better? Good afternoon, everyone. Let's give another round of applause to our Public Ally graduates. I'm so pleased that you're here. I'm Dr. Leslie. I'm the Chancellor of the Alamo Colleges, and I want to introduce Dr. Veronica Reyes here. Veronica, would you stand up, please? Veronica is the president of the Oakland St. College. Now, I have a script that says I've got 3 minutes, so I'm going to take probably 15, 20, if you don't mind. I love the idea of leadership, because leadership to me is a spiritual thing. It is not a management job. I have a management job. I'm the CEO of the Alamo Colleges. My title is Chancellor, but that's a management job. That doesn't say anything about leadership. But the expectation is that in this role that I will, in fact, be a leader. And I love the idea that leadership and management are really two different and distinct things. Management is about making sure things run properly, and leadership is about being proactive and thinking forwardly and taking risk and investing in people and caring about people, like Steve just said a second ago, losing yourself in order to find yourself. John Maxwell, who's one of my favorite leadership authors, talks about leadership as influence. And I think that's true, but I think more so leadership is about making things happening. And if you're going to make something happen, by definition, you're going to have to take a risk. So a leader, by definition, has to be a risk taker. And when you take a risk, by definition, you're going to get in trouble. So a leader needs to be somebody willing to get in trouble, the right kind of trouble. I want to share with you a quote that I just love and I think expresses this so well. It's from Teddy Roosevelt. He wrote this in 1909. So he is not quite as respectful, if you will, of the genders. So I apologize that he uses the word man throughout, but I think you get the point here. But I want you to listen to this, so I'm going to do this a little bit slowly, and I might repeat a phrase or two, because for me, this expresses the kind of experience had, but not so much the kind of challenges you yet will have to face as you assert yourselves in that role as a leader. Teddy Roosevelt said, "It is not the critic who counts." So if you're going to be a leader, you're going to be criticized by definition. So it's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. You know, today, isn't it sad that with social media there are so many critics out there, just trolls now they're being called, people who seem to get something out of doing nothing but criticizing everybody else. That's the person that's never in the arena, never sweating and bleeding, but also never knowing the great achievements and often the great failures. But it's in failure that we learn. It's in achievement that we're reinforced. So graduates, I want you to think about this, and you can Google it and go back and read it again at your own leisure. But that's the spiritual side of being a leader. Knowing that you're going to be criticized because you're doing something, but also knowing you're going to get great reward for it. But I want to leave you with one last thought. In the Chinese ancient spiritual tradition of Taoism, it speaks to the role of the leader. And in Taoism, Lao Tzu, who was the founder of Taoism, says, when the leader leaves, the people can say, "We did it." When the leader leaves, the people can say, "We did it." And the leader leaves without a trace. So it's not about what we get in return for being courageous, or being in the arena. In fact, it's not about our ego at all. It's that spiritual side that we made a difference in the lives of people, that we empowered them, and that we left without demanding some kind of monument to ourselves, but we left without a trace. So keep in mind Teddy Roosevelt and Lao Tzu, and God bless you all. Congratulations. Thank you.
To Dr. Leslie, Stephen Acton, my fellow allies, our partner organizations, family, and friends, welcome and thank you for attending this year's Public Allies graduation. My name is Mickey Sweet. I am a second-year member of Public Allies San Antonio. I volunteered both terms of service at San Antonio Fighting Back, Inc. as part of their peer-to-peer recovery partnership program. I served as a peer leader and recovery coach, along with administrative duties. I assisted with providing supportive services, resources, and support to many San Antonio residents, including the formerly incarcerated, veterans, and those suffering from substance abuse, domestic violence, and trauma. I became a part of San Antonio Fighting Back due to my own dilemma. After losing my job and on the verge of being evicted from our apartment, my family was in desperate need of any kind of help. A chance meeting with Ms. Linda Tippins at an East Side job fair began my journey with working at a nonprofit. In the midst of receiving help and support from San Antonio Fighting Back, Ms. Tippins felt that I would be qualified to join the staff. Happily, I agreed, I received an interview, and was hired. After a year and a half of training, trial, and error, I was presented to the opportunity to serve as a public ally. And now at this point, I've never heard of AmeriCorps or Public Allies, nor did I know what to expect. But I learned so much during my first year in the program, thanks to the training provided by Stephen Acton and Sean Patrice Williams. I began to understand not only how a nonprofit operates, but how these organizations help the community in so many ways. Now, don't get me wrong, I've had many days and weeks that were frustrating, tiresome, and tested my patience. But with the help of my family, the staff at San Antonio Fighting Back, and my fellow allies, I completed my first term. Even better, my hard work and determination influenced my daughter, fresh out of high school, encouraged her enough to apply and ultimately become an ally herself. My hard work and determination continued into my second year, providing assistance to our new allies while continuing to learn and grow in the process. So, you say, what are my plans after graduation? In addition to continuing my community service work at San Antonio Fighting Back, I will be attending San Antonio College to obtain my associate's degree in music business. Music is a universal language. It entertains, it teaches, it addresses issues, and it heals. I will combine what I will learn in college with the work I do in the community to not only provide a platform for musicians to display their art and their craft, but to provide resources and support to those artists who may find themselves in difficult situations. I want to take this moment, take this time to thank my program director, my program manager, my site supervisor, my fellow public allies, and especially my family for the help, camaraderie, and support during this term. My second year of service as a member of Public Allies has been a roller coaster ride of successes, failures, joy, pain, struggle, and triumph. Each day brought a lesson to learn from, as well as a chance to grow mentally, physically, and emotionally. Even as an introvert, the past 2 years has not only given me a confidence boost, but also reassurance that I can do anything I set my mind to. Once again, thank you to everyone for your kind words, encouragement, and support. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mickey, for your words. You know, Mickey's story is unique, but it's also synonymous with what a lot of the experiences that our members get to go through when they're a part of Public Allies San Antonio. A powerful experience as Public Allies is, we would not be able to do this type of work without the partnership and the camaraderie that we get from our partner organizations in agreeing to host our members over the course of these 10 months. At this time, I would like to recognize and acknowledge the partners that have allowed us to be able to facilitate this program here in San Antonio, and thank them for all the service that they have provided with us by allowing our members to serve at their sites, help their communities, and have an impact on the spaces that they live in themselves. Thank you. I would now like to welcome to the stage our keynote speaker for the evening. Maximo Aguiano is an actor, an activist, a creative entrepreneur, an organizer, and a thought leader out of San Antonio, Texas. He is the current director for My Brother's Keeper San Antonio, the brainchild behind Independent Creative Services, and vice president of community outreach at Be Visible Latinx. Maximo currently sits on the Peace Initiative's board of directors and is the chairperson for Teatro Ayudas San Antonio. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Maximo Aguiano.
Check. All right, y'all, how we doing? It's going down in Northeast Lakeview. How y'all doing? Oh, y'all gotta give me some of that. Give me some of that energy. I can hear the vibe and don't worry, because I want to earn your applause. I want to earn your applause, and I want to talk about the possibility of what we may become. That's what I'm here for today. I'm talking about growth, continuous development, improvement, putting on for our community, right? We're at the community college. I'm putting on for the community. Why? Because we're here to better support each other. And I can't talk about me. It's about we. You got a frown this morning, you better turn it upside down. This ain't about me. It's about we. How are we better supporting each other? How are we helping each other become better people, better community members? How are we helping each other become better brothers, better sisters, better family members? I got to talk a little bit about family. I see y'all got some family in the room. Let me ask y'all, anything more important than family out there? There might be, but I don't know what it is. Think about that one family member that's been with you from day one. They stuck with you through thick and thin, whoever it may be. Maybe it's your mother, maybe it's your father, maybe it's your grandmother, maybe it's your tia, maybe it's your Theo, maybe it's your TT, maybe it's your Kiki, whomever it may be. Think about that person. Maybe it's your son, maybe it's your daughter, whoever that is that you love the most. That's why we're here today. That's what we came here today for. Here we are, anointing another class of leaders. Another generation of leaders, and make no mistake about it, y'all are leaders. See, a lot of people do a lot of talking, as the doctor mentioned earlier, but fewer do the walking. I understand y'all completed a what, 10-month program? Is that right? 10 months? That's leadership. I'm talking discipline. Some of them early mornings, right? Y'all didn't want to wake up some of them mornings, right? But y'all did anyway. Because that's leadership. That's persistence. I'm talking tenacity, grit, determination, will, that inner drive to succeed. Let me ask y'all. I'm talking to y'all right now. Who wants to be successful? Oh, come on. You got to give me some of that. Who wants to be successful? Come on now. Let me tell you. You can do it, but little do you know, you're already doing it. This right here today is leadership. Don't y'all see? You're the generation that we've been waiting for. We talk about change, right? A lot of folks talk about change. Y'all are the generation that's going to lead us to that change. Y'all are the most smartest, most resourceful, most innovative generation that we've ever seen. And I didn't come here to talk y'all up because I don't need to do that to get y'all to recognize your greatness and the greatness that you may become. All you got to do for that is take a look in the mirror. Take a look at the selfies in your smartphones. Take a look at each other right now. Go ahead, take a peek. Ain't nothing wrong with taking a peek. Y'all are living proof that there's hope. This brother Mickey Sweet came up here and shared a little bit of his testimony. That's living proof right there about hope. I heard some of your stories. These are living proof of miracles. Some of y'all, if not all of y'all, have overcome insurmountable odds just to be here. Just to have completed this program. And that's why y'all are leaders. See, we don't come together enough. Look, if y'all can't tell, I love this. I love what I'm doing right now. And we don't come together enough like we're doing right now. You call me, I will be there. I will be there to do this. This is what I do. We don't come together enough to vibe and to synergize, to congratulate, to encourage, to inspire each other. But we got to do it more. We got to come together more, folks. You know why? Because every time you turn around, you're going to be confronted with negativity. Some of them trolls. Some of that noise with hate and haters, right? So as leaders, as y'all are, we find a way. We find a way to come together because we're going to rise. We're going to be successful, as y'all just mentioned. We're going to spread some of that light. We're going to do what we do. You know why? Because real leaders, you know what real leaders do? Somebody tell me why. Real leaders love. The best leaders, the ones you can feel. I ain't talking about somebody with a title. I'm talking about the leaders that you can feel are almost always guided by a great feeling of love. And we got to step into some of that love, y'all. We got to step into some more love out there like you would a pool on a hot summer Texas day. Step into that loving role of the leader like you would step into a fresh pair of Nike Airs. Go ahead and step into that role. Because to whom much is given, much is expected. Come on now, talk to me. Hey, I do these, listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I do a lot of these sort of talks. I travel the country. I work with countless people, and I've seen a lot of programs that are designed to help people like y'all. A lot of programs that have this leadership attached to it. But I can tell you what, this one is different. You know how I know? Because you can feel it. Also, how I know, if you can take a litmus test to any program to actually tell if it's real or it's fake, you can look to its leader. And I tell you what, this brother Stephen Acton, man, he puts on for y'all. He cares, right? And that care, that attention to detail, that quality, that love that I'm talking about is why we're here. So I got to ask, now that we're further educated, further empowered, further engaged, I got to ask y'all, what y'all going to do?
Come on.
What y'all going to do?
Now. Ready.
What y'all going to do? The spotlight's on me right now, but it ain't about me, as I mentioned. It's about we. What are we going to do as a community? What y'all going to do with this program? Y'all going to have this program on your resume. What you going to go out there and do? Y'all here in the San Antonio community, how y'all going to represent? Right? What y'all going to do? I got to know. Because knowledge is power, and y'all are powerful beyond belief. We need y'all. We need your ideas. Society needs y'all. Your families need y'all. See, although this program is done, the work has just begun. Don't y'all see? Y'all are the change. Y'all are the change we've been waiting for. See, y'all looking at me like I'm something special, but I ain't nothing special. I just came here to arouse your senses, speak to your psyche like a symphony, a songbird, a cipher of sweet potential, like the caterpillar that become a butterfly. Don't y'all see? Y'all can do anything you put your minds to. Let me tell y'all something. It's 2018. In 2008, what was y'all doing? 10 years ago. I bet y'all didn't think y'all would be here, right? So in 10 years, I got to ask y'all what y'all going to do. Where y'all going to be? Y'all going to be out there doing it. Y'all going to be doing anything you put your minds to. You can become an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, a professor. You can become president of the United States of America. You can do it. Hey, come on now. You want to be president? You can be the first woman president. Yeah, I'm talking to y'all. Y'all can do it. Don't y'all see? Y'all got to have the audacity. A lot of folks that see me talk, they're like, man, I never thought someone could just come up there and say all that. Well, just like I'm saying all this right now, it's how y'all can go out there and do what y'all want to do with your lives. Y'all got to have the audacity. Y'all got to have that swagger to go out there and put it on for what y'all want to do. Don't be afraid to be selfish for what y'all want to go and what y'all want to do. It can be done just like they say. Si se puede, right? Si se puede. Come on, give me some of that. I feel y'all. I'm loving that. See, in order to achieve, you got to believe. So as y'all are walking across this stage this evening to collect these plaques, know that y'all have achieved. And you had to have believed to have gotten here. So how y'all going to use that same feeling that y'all feeling, that same unique feeling of achievement, that special little tingle that's going on inside, use that to propel you forward to whatever it is you may want to be, whatever it is you may want to do with your lives. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go get what you want in life, folks. It's there for you. It's a world full of possibilities out there. I do a little bit of work with My Brother's Keeper San Antonio, which was an Obama-era initiative to combat some of the issues that have taken an effect to boys and men of color. And a lot of times when I say Obama's name or I talk about boys and men of color, I recognize it has a political connotation to it. It's got a little bit of a political feel. But guess what? I ain't afraid to go there. Right? Because the data is the data. The truth is the truth. The feelings are the feelings, right? And we got to be aggressive with it, folks. So, as I get ready to wrap this up, as y'all know, as you can probably tell, I like to talk. I can talk all night. I'm not going to take up much more of your time. I ain't going to stick around because I want to congratulate every single one of y'all with a handshake, look in your eyes, let you know that whatever I can do for y'all, if I can do anything for you all, it's already done. Thank you so much, folks.
Thank you so much, Maximo, for your words, your leadership. invoking the spirit of service in the room. You know, when I first joined Public Allies, I didn't fully understand what I was going to get involved with. I didn't understand the impact that I was going to have on my life, on my career, on the community that I served in, and on the people that were inside of my life at the same time. I had an opportunity to serve at an organization called Girl Scouts of Southwest Texas. And while I was there, I became very much aware of the fact that there was an issue with having folks in our nonprofits that reflected the individuals that they were serving. And it bothered me a little bit. And I began to wonder how people that are serving individuals in our communities can empathize with us if they aren't the same as us sometimes. How can we get more folks that look like us helping us in these spaces? And little did I know that the program that I was a part of had that as a core aspect of what they wanted to change inside of these nonprofit organizations. To build a more diverse workforce, a more diverse leadership, to lead these organizations, these initiatives, and to build sustainability within the communities that we serve in. So that whenever we come into a space, we're building value within it, not outside of it. So that whenever we come in and we build something that's going to be sustainable there, that the people within that space can do it on their own. You don't have to keep looking outside. In that cohort, I met some wonderful friends that I'm still in contact with, and this evening I have the pleasure of sharing the stage with one of my fellow alum from the 2013 class of Public Allies, Eric Chavarier. Eric is going to join me in calling the names of our allies that will be walking the stage this evening. Before I get to that, I want to honor one of our allies that was not able to join us this evening and celebrate her service to her community, the growth that she has had throughout the duration of her time with us, and the spirit that she has cultivated within the people within her cohort, but also that she's had the pleasure of working with. And tonight I want to honor, first off, Tirza Adams. Please join me in honoring her. We will now proceed by calling the names of our allies.
It is a true honor and pleasure to do this. Thank you, Stephen. We'd like to begin with Rosa Baca.
All right, Rosa.
Rosa aspires to obtain employment aligned with her career aspirations and pursue further education at a local college or university. Congratulations. Next up, Rafael Cordova. Rafael will be furthering his education and continuing his work at local nonprofits, serving marginalized populations. Congratulations. Next up, Janelle Corden. To obtain employment aligned with her career aspirations and pursue further education at a local college or university. Congratulations, Janelle.
All right, Janelle.
Next up, Anab El-Abi. Anab, next up. Aspires to pursue further education at a career institution.
All right, now.
Next up, Thomas Evans. Thomas aspires to continue to serve his community here in San Antonio as a second-year ally. Congratulations.
Mississippi.
Next up, Todd Franklin.
Come on, man.
Todd aspires to pursue further education at either a 2-year or 4-year institution or a trade school.
All right, congratulations, Todd.
All right,
Rochelle Gales. Rochelle is continuing her education and aspires to be a registered nurse specializing in pain management.
All right, Rochelle.
Miguel Gonzalez.
Miguel.
He aspires to obtain both employment aligned with his career aspirations and pursue further education at a local college or university. Elizabeth Hatch. Elizabeth will be pursuing her master's in criminal justice and criminology from UTSA.
All right.
Alex Holler. Alex will be moving to California and continuing her service in the nonprofit sector.
All right.
Blake LaRue. Blake aspires to continue serving his local community by obtaining employment at a local nonprofit organization. Jolie Nariambo. Jolie will be serving a second year with AmeriCorps as a volunteer coordinator for SBP in Houston. And applying for grad school in fall. Belen Vasencienta. With Girls Inc. for San Antonio is a program facilitator and will be applying to law school in the fall of 2019. Jasmine Pope Shelton.
Jasmine was not able to join us this evening, but we want to honor her and celebrate her services.
She aspires to obtain both employment aligned with her career aspirations and pursue further education at a local college and university. Congratulations, Jasmine.
Yes.
Next up, Lorenzo Salazar.
Lorenzo.
Having served 2 years of service with Public Allies, Lorenzo will be pursuing his educational pathway at Alamo Colleges.
All right, Lorenzo.
Karina Salazar. Karina will be pursuing a second year of service with AmeriCorps and CCC. Congratulations. Paige Spencer. Paige aspires to continue serving her community here in San Antonio as a second year ally.
All right.
Congratulations. Mickey Sweet.
Mickey.
Having served 2 terms of service with Public Allies, Mr. Sweet will be continuing his community service work here at San Antonio Fighting Back, Inc. and attending San Antonio College to obtain an associate's degree in music business.
Mickey Sweet.
Ellis Taylor.
Was not able to join us this evening. We also want to celebrate his service here with AmeriCorps and Public Allies San Antonio. Let's honor Elias tonight.
Yeah.
He aspires to continue serving his community here in San Antonio as a second year ally. Congratulations. Antonio Ward. Antonio aspires to obtain both employment aligned with his career aspirations and pursue further education at a local college or university.
All right, Antonio.
And last but certainly not least, Erica Zuniga. Erica aspires to continue serving her community here as a second-year ally.
All right.
Let's have another round of applause for our graduating allies.
All right.
Now, before we conclude our evening, I would like to recognize one of our partner organizations that has been with us for 4 years. Can I please get Miss Linda Tippins to come to the stage?
Yes, ma'am! Yes, ma'am! Yes, ma'am! Woo!
Good.
Yes, ma'am! Yes!
Come, Miss Tippins! Don't you just love that attitude? Come here, Miss Tippins. Yes, sir. Miss Tippins has been one of our partners and advocates for a very long time. And this evening we want to award West Care Foundation and San Antonio Fighting Back to Miss Tippins in sincere partnership of 4 years of dedication and commitment to the belief that everyone needs our Golden Hand Award.
Love her.
Y'all laughing, but you gotta have a sense of humor when you're dealing with it.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate my brother over here. I appreciate all of y'all. He didn't give the mic to me.
That's
He
right.
don't have to get a mic to me because I'm gonna say what I have to say.
Go.
I appreciate each and every one of you for what you did in these 10, 11 months or whatever you did. I appreciate my brother's keeper, because you are doing such an excellent job with our young men. And we want to make sure you understand that we're expressing our appreciation because we're dealing with trauma. We're dealing with violence. And you know, and I appreciate Steve and all of y'all, but we always ask you to pray for us. Because I tell everybody, I was supposed to be on a plane right now, on my way to another event. And I knew you were graduating, and I sacrificed that time to go tomorrow instead of today. That's how important it is. As important it is that you sacrifice your time. Sometimes you have to give it up, and sometimes it costs a little bit of money,
Amen.
but they're worth the money.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
They're worth it. You keep us in prayers, because today I want to make sure you understand. As I stand here with this hand, I'm going to let go. I'm going to let go, let go, let go. I just got through burying a young man that was executed in Huntsville on yesterday. You know, people say, well, how can you do that? Why, how can I not do it? It matters not what he did. It matters that I knew him when he was not doing what he got up in. And that's what you're doing. You're saving our population. You're saving our young men and women. You're saving our young adults. You're saving our elders. You know, so I say, you know, if anybody has to go to a funeral, let it be me. But all I can say is I appreciate each and every one of you for allowing for San Antonio Fighting Back to receive this hand. Because if they mess with me one more time, let this hand across their Grandma say, what you say? I didn't say nothing, Grandma. What you say? What you looking at? What you thinking about? But I think all I can say, I think, and now I think I know. I thank you, each and every one of you. Thank you.
As we bring our graduation to a close, I would like to say that no two allied classes are alike. Each has their own unique way of bonding and storming together to become a team. But this class is especially unique in the fact that you represent the 10th graduating class of Public Allies San Antonio. We've been in here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Doing this type of work. Doing this type of service. And each and every one of you has made a significant impact on your community. A lot of times when we first come in and I speak with you guys, I tell you you have to impact one life. One life in your entire term of service, over 10 months, over these 1,700 hours. One life. I know for a fact, each and every one of you has done more than that. So you've had a meaningful impact on our community. We want to celebrate that tonight. As we move forward, and one chapter closes, another door always opens. Always opens. I cannot wait to see where your leadership journey leads you all and the impact that you will make on your communities, but more importantly, the legacy that you will leave behind you. Because each of you are building that right now. What you do from now on will define who you are and what you will mean to the people that are around you. And so far, it's been wonderful. It's been a pleasure to be your program director over these 10 months. And I look forward to meeting with you externally in however ways we can support you along your leadership journey, along your impact journey. I will welcome that. This will conclude our 2017-2018 Public Allies graduation, but I want to encourage all of you to join us for some light refreshments in the lobby as we celebrate these members who have graduated today and look forward to the service that they will perform in the future. Thank you.
Smile, Miss Tippins. Oh, perfect.
You might get the third one.
Huh?
Yes, absolutely. Can we get the graduating class?
That was nice. Yes.
How you doing, sir?
Short guy.
Okay, guys.
Short guy.
You're looking good. Everybody right here. Right here. All right, stand by. Looking good. Everybody just come together. Come together.
We need to scoot in a little bit.
Yeah, come together. If you can see me, I can see you. I want to see your face, okay? Gentleman in the very back in the white shirt, I want to be able to see you. Yes, Antonio. I knew it was him. Yeah, you step forward all the way. There you go. Awesome. And everybody on your right side, I need you to go this way. All right. Everybody on this side, I need you to go this way. Which way do you want to go? You okay, Elizabeth? Where you are? There you go. Okay. Remember, if you can see me, I can see you. Here we go. All right. I'm going to take 3 photos. I'm going to count to 3. Gentlemen, right here. Thank you, sir. Here we go. Yes. Right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Stand by. Wait for it. All right. Thank you. Good job. Thank you.
Side girl in. She started like making like she said,
I'm so glad, Antonio.
Ooh, sorry. That is it, you guys. It is done. They are graduated, and we're gonna go eat and definitely go back and replay so you can hear Mickey's speech. Oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. Look at that. It was amazing.
You try to shake somebody. Anything else?
Aw.
You go, girl.
Look at